All right, just a quick video mostly for myself on what I did to upgrade the Celica's speakers, add a reverse cam, new head unit, and dash cam, as well as a powered bass. I guess we'll start in the back. So I added the dash cam at the very top of the license plate frame. The nut to screw on to the dash cam to secure it. I had to cut a bit of a plastic trim so the nut can spin freely to screw in, so it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to remove it, but I think I shouldn't have to do that too many times. And to remove this plastic trim piece, it's really easy. You just have to remove the tail lights first, and then you'll have access to 2 bolts on each side. And then there's like these plastic stud things here which you just hammer out slowly and they'll slowly come off. But there's a reverse camera. The wire running into it is here. Now this little Wago connector, the splice cable I have, that's actually the reverse tail light for the head unit, to indicate to the head unit when to turn on the reverse camera or not. I was going to try to find the reverse light switch out in the front dashboard, but I could not find the switch. I looked at the schematics. I think the switch is called IG1, but the schematics show a left-hand drive car, so I was a bit confused. I did find I think it's called a BQ1 connector, and the red and white cable on the BQ1 connector is the reverse light switch. And I guess if I would have followed that cable all the way down through the floor panel into the dashboard, I could have found the reverse light switch. But honestly, there's no room to work on, or no room to splice or solder anything down there, and I think it was just much easier to do it off of the rear tail light. And for the rear tail light, it's only the red and white cable from this connector, so I spliced through that. I have both the reverse camera and the rear tail light indicator running through here, through that little trim piece over there. One cable to mention in the back is the dash cam, which is right here. I haven't installed it yet, but the dash camera cable runs through the headliner, down through this plastic trim piece, and all follows the same way down, which I can show here. Let me move the seat up. Now you'll see all the cables running through there, down through here, into that channel thing. I try to make them as neat and tidy as possible. I left a little bit of a jet line through the channel to make future cables, or future runs of cables, easier. But all those 3 cables run through this plastic trim piece, which is actually pretty neat. You just lift it up and run the cables through and put it back down. I guess it was designed this way, I'm not really entirely sure. But the 3 cables run through there, and they all are hidden behind the passenger side carpet. The power cables are by themselves, and then the reverse camera cable is by itself to prevent any distortion or anything. But all the cables run through there and into the center console thing. The front dash cam cable actually runs up through here, or I guess the rear camera connects to the front camera, so the rear camera cable, which is this one, runs up through the trim, and I'm gonna hide it all through the A-pillar trim into the headliner, into the future front dash cam. But that should be all the cables running through the back. Now underneath the seat, not sure you can see, oh there you are, there is a powered base. Now through the powered base, I did drill a hole through the carpet a little bit on the inside, but the connectors to the power base goes through the hole in the carpet and into the drive shaft column pillar thing. As you can see, the cables come out right through there. The powered red cable I try to keep separated. I grounded the power base into that location there, and both the powered cable for the base as well as the cable for the head unit all run through the back, hidden through the carpet, and up into through the firewall, which the location of that is this rubber grommet thing here. Now the cables are coming underneath the grommet. I didn't feel like drilling or cutting a hole through this rubber grommet to feed the cables through, but it's nice and secure. It's not getting pinched. I wrapped the cables both up in this little plastic shielding thing, and as you can see, they're both connected to the battery. I am waiting for a battery extension cable so I can install this thing, make the cables a little bit more neater, but at the moment they're connected this way to the battery. Now the only thing to mention is I guess just the head unit, or I guess the front speakers first. So both the front speakers, I used the passive crossover that was included on the Polk Audio thing. These are 6.5 inch speakers I bought, but the frame that came with the Celica is actually an 8-inch. So I guess I read through some forums that some 8-inch speakers do work perfectly with the existing frame, and you don't have to do any custom woodworking like I did, but unfortunately I had to. The plastic brackets that the Polk Audios came with did not unfortunately work. They didn't line up right, and I had to get creative here. But in order to get the passive crossover to work, the audio out from the wire harness, I had to splice and make a bit longer. Here are the butt connectors I use for that. So the original audio I spliced, made it longer to reach the passive connector. The existing, I guess these are new connectors for the speaker, I spliced and made longer and connected everything to the passive crossover, as long as with the tweeters I added, which is just I drilled a hole through the existing thing and ran a cable through. The door panel did come with an OEM, I think tweeter connector is what this was. These wires are a little bit thinner than the original wires that come in through the wire harness, but I think this was a option for factory upgraded tweeters, and I did see some these little mirror panels things that do have the existing tweeter in it. But I guess I could have used this cable, or these two cables to connect the tweeter directly, but I didn't know how the splicing worked on this one, and I didn't know how to get that to work with a passive crossover, so I just decided to go directly to the passive crossover. Nothing too difficult. A little bit of a ghetto installation. Double-sided Velcro tape onto the door panel with this little wire. I don't know what those are called anymore. The zip tie things through the door panel, and I did confirm that the door panel does fit on here without any interference. I was trying to install this behind here, but the window power switch was getting in the way, unfortunately. As far as the head unit's concerned, nothing too special about the head unit. The head unit's ground cable, so I can remember, it's back here in my hand. There's a bolt behind it. I connected it directly to the chassis, but everything else was pretty much the same. Just followed the instructions and everything was set, and I think that's about it. Just custom frames on the speakers where I ran the cables. The reverse switch was a pain in the butt to find, so I used the reverse tail light switch, and more custom framing for the rear speakers as well. And that should about do it.